What is going on, guys? So a bunch of you guys keep asking me to show you my setup. So here it is. So I've changed my setup multiple times this year, but I think this one that I have right now is probably my favorite one. It's a dual monitor setup with my iMac and with a monitor that BenQ actually shipped out to me. Now this is not sponsored, but let me tell you, this guy right there, it's freaking amazing. So let's go ahead and start off the video with the monitor. Let me read it because it's kind of got a long name. It's the BenQ PD2720U. You don't really have to remember that name. All you have to do if you're interested in it, links are in the description. But my favorite thing about this monitor, apart that it looks amazing, is that all you have to do to plug in your device, whether it's a MacBook or an iMac, is simply plug it in via USB-C. So my favorite thing about this is if you actually have a MacBook, when you actually plug in your MacBook, it will actually charge as well. Now, as I was saying, it's USB-C. So the iPad Pro, the 2018 iPad Pro is actually USB-C. So I do this all the time. I plug in my iPad with USB-C to the monitor, and I actually game sometimes. I actually draw sometimes. I actually read my notes. It's so cool to actually have a monitor that is compatible with everything basically from 2019. The latest MacBooks have USB-C. My iMac has USB-C. Everything that I have Pro-wise is USB-C. So it's so cool that I can plug in anything that I want to that. Also my Nintendo Switch. So it's really cool. I totally recommend this monitor. Apart from the goodness of USB-C, this monitor is actually 4K HDR. So anything that you do on it, video edit, watching movies. I've watched a couple movies on this and it looks so incredibly good. I watched Star Wars the other day on this while I was working. You know, I was simply working on my iMac and then I had... Don't judge me, okay? I'm sure you're judging me right now. So if you want to be honest, I'm not really a big fan of monitors because they simply don't look good. But that one looks just amazing. It's practically bezel-less on the top sides. You basically can't see any bezels. It looks so good. It kind of reminds me of the design of the iPad Pro, except on this monitor, it's kind of got a bezel on the bottom like most monitors / most computers out there. It looks so good. Like, I know this is not sponsored. If you want me to be honest, I didn't think I was gonna be this excited about this monitor. Like, I'm so happy with it and it helps my workflow so much. Talking about my workflow, on my setup, I use my dual monitor setup. Now, how can this be useful? Well, if you have a window, you can simply pop it over to the other side. You can pop it over to the other monitor. The BenQ monitor is really good for photo editing and video editing. Now, talking about video editing, Final Cut Pro on a dual monitor setup is pure magic. I mean, you can literally tap on certain things. So for example, you can have the timeline on the monitor and the actual footage on the left and on the right. Like you can actually customize your workflow while you're editing. Now this is so useful and it's helped me editing videos so much quicker. And to be honest, so much, it's more fun. So the iMac that I have is the 2017 4K iMac. It's got 8 gigs of RAM and it's got enough specs for me since I don't really edit in 4K, so I don't really shoot in 4K. Because I've tried it and it's not a good experience. Let me know in the comments if you guys really want 4K, because if you guys really do, I'll think about it, but it's just not worth it for me because 1080p is so easy. So that's why I chose this iMac. I don't really want a beast like an iMac Pro because I simply don't need. Sometimes I wish I had more power, but this is actually pretty good for anything that I do. So I barely feel like, you know, this iMac is too slow. Sometimes when I'm like literally pushing it to the very limits, I'm literally using like Cinema 4D, Final Cut Pro, Photoshop like all in one time. Sometimes it's like, it starts to get a little bit laggy, but most of the times it works perfectly fine. This iMac right here is actually one of the products, actually the Apple product that I actually use the most. More than my Apple Watch, more than my iPhone. I'm usually sitting on my desk most of the time, so I'm literally so thankful of my iMac. Alright, so if we're talking about accessories, I'm kind of a boring person because I love Apple's accessories. I've got the Magic Keyboard, which in my opinion works perfectly fine. The Magic Mouse, which I love the Magic Mouse, and the Magic Trackpad because of those gestures with macOS. They simply feel so awesome. I know there's the MX Master and like so many better mice in a way. But for me, with the workflow that I have with Mac and Mac OS, in my opinion, the Magic Mouse is the best one for me. I haven't tried personally the MX Master, so I can't really, I mean, I've tried it with friends, but I haven't actually bought it ever. So let me know in the comments down below if you have the MX Master, if you definitely recommend it over the Magic Mouse. The Magic Trackpad is another thing that I can't live without. I just personally love having the Magic Trackpad and the magic mouse all at once. So, you know, I'm always scrolling through one and using the mouse. I've gotten used to this workflow and I kind of don't really want to try anything else. I mean, if you tell me that something is really good, I might try it, but I'm just happy the way that I am. Now, my current mousepad is from Gaze Desk. I reviewed it last week with my best desk accessories video. Links are down below, definitely check that out. But it's basically a mousepad that actually has a wireless charger. Like this, you can actually charge your phone on your desk. Now, you seriously can't even begin to understand how useful this mousepad is, because simply your phone is always charging. Because when I'm at my desk, I simply put my phone, you know, in the wireless charger, so it's literally always charging. My phone is practically always at 100%. It's actually got fast charging, it's got USB-C, so this mousepad, I am so incredibly happy with it. And then the last accessory that I have on my desk is the Eve Room. Now this is HomeKit enabled, and it basically lets me know on the temperature and the humidity on my room. Now it's really cool because whenever I'm not home, for example, I can simply know, you know, the temperature on my room. So then if it's too cold or too hot, I can simply change it, you know, with the thermostat. So it's really cool. I always have it on my desk. I can always know the temperature, whether it's on my HomePod, my Apple Watch, my iPhone. I can ask Siri. So it's something that it's not the most expensive thing in the world. It's not the most revolutionary thing in the world, but it's always good to have, and I always love it in my room. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it for my desk setup. Well, actually, I've got this light right here. I almost forgot. It's actually from Aki. It's not HomeKit enabled, but I just love the way it looks. It's got multiple modes. It's got multiple colors, and I just feel like it fits my setup perfectly. I've tried out a bunch of lights, but none of them aren't really aesthetically pleasing as this one. This one is super minimal. It's not HomeKit enabled, but I actually have a smart plug from Eve, so I can basically tell Siri to turn off that light in particular. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my setup. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys like this setup. Let me know in the comments down below what type of setup. Actually, go ahead and tweet me. Go over to my Twitter and send me a photo of your desk setup. I will be liking, replying, retweeting. I'll be trying to engage a bunch of you guys with your setup. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm actually gonna go eat lunch now because it's pretty late here in Spain. So yeah, goodbye.